I have a podcast that reaches thousands of people all around the world, and I don't have all the money in the world to spend. Obviously, I do try to keep things very simplistic, very minimal, and we're still reaching thousands of people. I know lots of people are wondering, Daniel, what's your setup? Daniel, what gear do you use? And today I just wanted to break down my gear as a content creator, showing kind of a little bit behind the scenes of the podcast and explaining how you can do the same thing, what gear you need to start a podcast if you do, and just giving you a little bit of an insight into my world. Someone move that cat, please. Please move that cat. That cat's got to go. I gotta do something about that cat. Anytime cats see a closed door, they're like, scratch, 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 I want in. They keep scratching my door. But you don't need the most expensive gear. You don't need the best gear. I, as a content creator, don't go all out on certain things. There's certain things I do like having the best of. There's certain things I think, not really necessary. So we're just gonna go ahead and break that down. I have a podcast called Growing Up Kingdom where we talk about anything from faith, family, friends, anything to do with life from a biblical perspective. And so if that's something you find interesting, then hey, go ahead and check it out. But today I'm just breaking down the gear I use. The first thing, I think the most important thing we gotta talk about is the microphone. This is the Rode PodMic, just the original one. I know there's different ones these days. They have USB ones. There's just the regular old XLR Rode PodMic. And I absolutely love it. I know there's lots of other people who swear by the SM7B. SM7B. I like the Rode PodMic. I think it's great. It's light. It's tiny. I think it does a lot of great stuff. If you watch some of my podcasts, you'll be like, oh, the audio doesn't sound that great. That's because I'm still learning here. I haven't been doing it that long. I'm still trying to figure everything out, right? So there'll be episodes where the audio just doesn't sound good. That's not the microphone's fault. That's my fault. But it's an absolutely incredible microphone. I absolutely love it. I got it for $100. These days, you don't have to pay nearly that much. People will try to sell it to you for $100. You can get it for $65. Now, where do you get it from $65? Check out mpb.com if you're... I don't know where all they ship. If you're in the US, definitely check that out. That's a place that has a lot of good deals on used gear, and it's completely reputable. They check all their stuff. They take individual pictures of every piece of gear so you know exactly what you're getting. I absolutely love it. I've never had a problem using them. I love kind of the whole process of their stuff. But I got this for $100. You can get it for $65, something like that. I think if you need a microphone and you don't want to skimp out on if you don't want to skimp out on a microphone, but you also don't want to pay like crazy amounts of money, this right here is the way to go. I still count this, at least for myself, as like industry standard. If you look around, lots of podcasters use this microphone because it's absolutely incredible. Some people are like, hey, would you consider switching to an SM7B eventually? Maybe. I see myself just buying more of these in the future. If you need a microphone, Rode PodMic. I love it. Also, real quick, I'll just mention it. I'm not trying to make any money off this. There are no affiliate links down in the description. There's no sponsor for this video. I'm just sharing with you the gear I absolutely love. If you want to search these up and find them yourselves, you're more than welcome to. Now, obviously you need to get the audio from the microphone into whatever you're recording on, right? For me, I use a Vocaster 2. I love this thing. It's pretty cool. The way it works is pretty simple. You plug an XLR cable into the microphone and it plugs right back here. Oh, I haven't even taken off the protective film on the back of this thing. Oops. But you just plug it right back here. It's got a host, it's got a guest, it's got 2 inputs, so not a lot if you're trying to do like 4 people podcasts, 3 people. I'm just one person for now. I want to start having more guests on. I've had my mom on as a guest before in the past. But 2 inputs, more than enough for me. XLR goes into this, and from there you plug in a USB cable and you plug it right into your computer. So it records right into your computer. I know there are other recorders that do like just record straight to an SD card or something. I just record straight to my computer. It goes in here. From this, it goes into my computer. This gives me volume controls. I can gain a microphone up and down, so I can, do all that sort of fancy stuff. I can also monitor stuff. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I can monitor my audio to hear what I sound like, and I can control how loud or quiet that is in my ears. I absolutely love this thing. It gives you different audio like presets. You can auto gain on it when you download the app, so you don't have to take kind of the guesswork out of that. I absolutely love this thing. I don't remember how much I paid for this though. And I don't know what you can find it for right now. I guess I should have figured that out. I don't know. I'm gonna put the price up here on the screen somewhere. I don't know. I love this thing. This thing's pretty cool. I talked about monitoring. I use in-ear monitors to monitor my audio. Some people will use headphones. I prefer to have something in my ears. These things are pretty cool, pretty simple. You take them and they always go down the back. I'm not gonna stick it down my shirt right now. Some people like to wear them in the front. I think that's weird. It's not what they're meant for. You stick them in here and you can monitor yourself. They're basically like, yeah, earbuds, whatever you wanna call them. But musicians use in-ear monitors. A lot of podcasters who don't want the headphones, they use in-ear monitors. In-ear monitors can go anywhere from $20 to $200 to $2,000. These ones here are $20. I think these ones punch well above their price range. These are the CCZ Melody or something like that. I just got them off Amazon. I like good audio. I'm willing to pay a little bit more money for good audio. I know some people don't like them when they get them. I actually think they're really good, and I think they're worth a whole lot more than $20. This is actually my second pair. I broke some myself. Ones I'd had for quite a while, so I bought myself some new ones. I just went back and bought the same price instead of buying $200 in-ears, because I actually really like these things. If you want to monitor audio, don't want headphones, $20 gets you one of those. I love it. Obviously, all these prices, they could change. They could do different things, right? But that's my whole audio flow. Microphone into my Vocaster, goes into my computer on one end, and into my in-ears on the other end so I can monitor it and hear what I sound like. I like hearing myself. Some people don't. It is what it is. For all the rest of like my technical stuff, I use my MacBook M4 Pro. Obviously, if you're on a budget, I don't recommend it. I think you can just work with whatever computer you have. This is what I have. This is what I'm using. I used to be a Windows guy. A Windows guy, HP, Dell, all that sort of stuff. I got a Mac. I absolutely love it. I don't think I'm going back anytime soon. I've got a D-brand skin on it, in case anyone's wondering what's with the colors. I like it. So all my audio runs into that, and that's where I save it, and it works pretty well for me. I've never really had a problem where they don't really connect well, and I lose audio somewhere. I'm sure people are worried about that. I haven't had too much of a problem with that. Let's talk about notes. I like to have notes with me. Since it is a solo podcast, it's kind of hard to have like a conversation, back and forth with someone else. So we're talking about things on a budget. This right here is on a budget. This is a Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 Lite. I've been wanting an iPad for a long time. I still can't really justify buying an iPad. This thing works well enough for me. I keep my notes on this thing. It's really, really cool. It's simple. There's not much to it. It just works. It does what it does, and it does it well enough. It's not fast. Sometimes I think, oh boy, it's slow. But if you need a tablet, I think you can find this for what? $120 at Walmart right now? There might even be some cheaper ones at this point. I just walked into a Walmart and bought this. So, I mean, that's always an option, right? Sometimes we think we need to buy tech online, and need to go like a huge specific tech store. I need a tablet. I just walked in and bought this. I don't need an iPad for what I do. This works. This works well enough for what I do, and I like it. It's pretty cool. It goes anywhere with me. If I'm speaking somewhere and I need notes, this is what I'm bringing with me. I've spoke with my MacBook a couple times, but no, this is my main go-to for notes. I love it. It's simple. It's easy. The last thing I feel like we need to talk about is a camera, because I do a solo podcast and it's a video podcast. Most of my audience is on YouTube, and it is what it is. Spotify is actually pretty small of an audience. A lot of people like seeing the video. I do video podcasts on Spotify too, but that's a whole side story. My camera, this is a little bit of a big boy. This is the Sony Alpha 6700. That's what it's called. No one get mad at me since I combined 6 and 7. It is what it is. That's what it's called. It's an incredible camera. I got this camera because obviously I do create content, right? And this is the camera I wanted. It shoots great video. It takes great pictures, but all of that doesn't really matter. This thing was a little bit more expensive, but again, I'm not just shooting a podcast, right? This is like my content creator setup here. If I'm going somewhere and I'm shooting something, I'll flip the screen out and I will shoot something. I don't have a filter on this either. You'll see I have a step-up ring, but I don't use any filters. I just set this up right here, kind of where this camera is right there, and I'll just record with it, and I love it. I do have a shotgun microphone on here. That's in case for whatever reason I do forget to plug something on my microphones or something, or I don't like the way the audio sounds. I always have a backup. I've never really had to use it except for maybe once or twice, and you'll hear those episodes where I've had to do that. This is not exactly a budget setup, but again, this is like my content creator setup here, right? This camera. But if you want some tips to make it a little bit more budget friendly, you don't have to do all this to it. If you do want this camera, I say just stay with the kit lens. This works more than well enough for shooting podcasts. It gets a lot of hate, the kit lens. People don't like it. Hey, you don't need incredible lighting. You don't need you just need a lens that does what it does. And if you're able to get a camera like this, simple enough with a kit lens, you don't have to upgrade. Again, I shoot a lot more with this camera. That's why it's all done up like this. I'd have to check how much this is. I don't even know. Let's check it real quick. 1.4 used on MPB. So $1.4 thousand. It's not exactly cheap. You want a real budget option? I'll tell you, I almost went for the Sony ZV-E10. And I think that's still a really, really good option. If you want a budget option, check that out. You can find that used for, I don't know, maybe $500, $600 in the US. And that's a really good camera. It just sits there, does what it needs to do. Obviously, there's a couple of downsides when you look at that versus this. This camera has in-body stabilization, right? If I'm moving around and shooting things, it's a whole lot more stable, less shaky. But if you're just gonna set up a camera somewhere and record, ZV-E10 all day. Just the original one, there's a Mark II, I don't think you need it. ZV-E10, you can buy what? Maybe 2 of them for the price of this thing, the way it's set up right now. And that's an incredible setup right there. Obviously, this isn't like the most cheap setup here. The whole point is to get gear that actually works and does what I need it to while still being conscious of the price. So if you want a really, really cheap option, then hey, go record a podcast on your phone or something. But if that's not what you want to do, you want to actually spend some money to do things right, then check some of this stuff out. Rode PodMic, I love it. Vocaster 2, I love it. You don't need an expensive tablet. Just get something like a Galaxy Tab A7, the light version. Camera, again, mine is all out. If you watch the video podcast, you'll realize the content isn't even all that great, like the visual aspect of it, because I'm still trying to learn how to use this thing. There's so many different features and different things. You don't need all that. Go with a cheaper camera and you'll be fine. The whole point is, the most important thing in a podcast is good audio, and I feel like this gets that job done. Besides that, video, if you want to spend a little bit more money on video, go for a good camera. If not, go for a slightly less great camera that doesn't have all the bells and whistles and still shoots great footage, and you'll be fine. I found that people care a lot about the contents of the video and a whole lot less about, what brand of camera you use. Just recently, I got a comment on one of my videos talking about my color grading. They said the color grading goes crazy, and I was like, wow, no one's ever complimented my color grading before. I actually thought it was pretty bad. No one usually notices that sort of stuff. This was the first time that's ever happened in over a year of podcasting. Get good audio, you'll be fine. Get good ways to monitor yourself. Again, I like those things, they're $20. If you want to see my whole setup, the way I actually set things up, the way things work together, the way I set up, the way this looks, then let me know, because I'd love to make a video, but I don't really want to make a video if no one's interested in it. So let me know down in the comments if that's something you want to see. Again, this channel is usually all about my podcast, right? I have a podcast. If you're interested in that podcast, you want to check it out, then make sure you go ahead and subscribe. But yeah, I'll see you guys around. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.